about this lady who works for ZFM. Her name is Misred. She has been socially played on social media. I think she was part of the people who announced the victory of Fatai Mahere in one of the programs that was conducted by ZFM, where the listeners were given an opportunity to vote for the best Zimbabwean, and she was competing with individuals like Wicknell Chivayo, the ZANU PF Minister of Youth, Tinoma Chakaire, and other ZANU PF cronies, and the people, as usual, they would not vote for anyone associated with the corruption of ZANU PF. So the results came out with actually Fatai Mahere leading the station had to announce the results as they are without rigging. It appears this did not actually fall on, did not make it right, especially for the ZANU PF cronies. We have seen Barakashi taking it to the social media, denigrating this woman called Miss Red. And not only that, one would expect that as a leader of Women's League, Mabel Chinomona was going to defend this woman, but she is actually doing totally the opposite, choosing to actually side with men who are male chauvinists and men who are abusive to women, also abusing and going to an extent of calling for this woman to actually resign, in fact, to be fired from ZFM. We know that it is a station that is led by the ZANU PF Central Committee member, that is Super Manduanzira, a journalist turned politician from ZANU PF. And this is what she wrote. It's really an embarrassing statement. She says, she puts a picture of Misred and says she is an embarrassment to the democratic space in Zimbabwe. How does she become an embarrassment when she announced the real results? If you in Zimbabwe, ZANU PF is making it illegal, especially to allow any person from opposition to compete and defeat non-ZANU PF personnel. She goes on to say, Ms. Red must resign from ZFM stereo or risk facing a full wrath of the law. How do you face a full wrath of the law of actually a competition? How? This is a stupid lady. She says youths from all corners of Zimbabwe are already signing petitions calling for ZFM to sack this sellout. So she is a sellout by actually announcing real results. So they expected the rigging that took place in Kulumane to take place also in ZFM. Let me hear from Zimbabweans what they have to say on this issue. This woman, Chinomona, she is an embarrassment, I think, to women. These are women that actually make other women suffer. These are women that are useless. She is actually twerking for Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa at the expense of destroying a young and potential life. Now, let's hear Mabel Chinomona to quickly respond to it. She says, you at Chinomona are an ultimate embarrassment to Zimbabwe, including ZANU PF. How can the president of the Senate of an entire country involve herself in a radio station's fan poll about persons of the year, while more than 2,500 women are dying during birth? The biggest hospital has only one maternity theater. The whole country has no single working radiotherapy cancer treatment machine. Unemployment stands at over 90%. Citizens receives only 2 to 4 hours of electricity per day. And this is happening even though ZESA promised improvement. My relatives are at home, and this is really, really serious. We hardly can talk. And the country is facing an open succession war. You are determined to embarrass not only the country but also your boss and the president by publicly fighting over a radio station poll. This is political and media illiteracy of the highest order. ZFM is a youth radio station. Its audience is largely young and unemployed people. It is therefore natural that its listeners would relate to and support Fatai Mahere, a young lawyer they see as speaking to their lived realities and struggles. Have some shame, madam, and focus on statecraft, not radio polls. For the president of a country's senate to threaten a radio presenter with persecution over a light-hearted poll is a new law for Zimbabwe. It reflects a complete lack of emotional intelligence and deep misunderstanding of media and youth culture and political bankruptcy. Shame on you. And I repeat, shame on her. I wish I could call her the other name. For the avoidance of doubt, I had not seen your tweet. A regional foreign affairs minister asked me what is going on. Stop this childish 4-year-old behavior. You have sunk from the gutter into the sewer. You are internationalizing your lack of common sense and embarrassing yourself on a global stage. A whole ruling party getting hot under the collar over a fun radio poll. Shame on you. To quote Fatai Mahere, Zimbabwe needs new and mature leaders, not skunks like you, ma'am. And I mean, I could say not an idiot like this woman. Someone says, who is the girl in the picture? Someone says, public figures don't manufacture support. Citizens decide for themselves. If Mahere resonates with the people, that's a reflection of a message, not a radio presenter's influence. Turning Misred into a scapegoat because some people admire Mahere is not democratic behavior. It's an attempt to police opinions and punish someone for simply engaging in public discourse. That's the opposite of what a healthy democratic space looks like. If the real issue is political preference, then let's be honest about that instead of dressing it up as a legal or moral crisis. Zimbabwe's democracy grows when people debate ideas, not when they hunt down individuals for supposedly influencing public sentiments. Democracy is about choice, not controlling who the public is allowed to like. People are actually roasting this idiot. Leaking Emerson Tambuzomlanga. Now, someone says, which law, if I may ask, this woman is so stupid. I think that's a good question. Which law will they use? Someone says, full wrath of law. Which law, Nai, Mami? I think that someone says, you have sold ZANU PF to Zwikananda because of your love of man. At your age, we thought you are the guardians and elders of the party who should lead by example. Yet you are actually a sales lady for everything that ZANU PF has achieved. You are the weakest link which Zwikananda has successfully exploited. I think one cannot speak more than this. She is an embarrassment. The whole Senate president, you can tell that this is why Zimbabwe is a banana republic. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us.